welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Angelica here. If you're new, then come in, have a seat, have several seats, and if you're not new, thank you for having me once again all up on your screen. I just wanted to quickly make an announcement about an organisation. So a group of LSE alumni, 4 of them who recently graduated from LSE, have founded Transcend to help students from all backgrounds access the legal industry. So if you are interested in applying to university, if you're interested in a legal career, one of the co-founders is actually my friend who I met all the way back in 2015. We both did a summer school at Cambridge University, and then we went on to do a lot of other law programs. Obviously I went to Oxford and he came to LSE, so he graduated this past year. So he started at LSE a year before me, and now he's at Harvard doing an LLM, and another co-founder is also studying at Harvard Law School. The founders are absolutely incredible. They've received offers from Magic Circle law firms, Silver Circle law firms, and so they're so qualified. They've done so many law programs. So if you are interested in learning about getting work experience and getting into the legal industry and studying law, do follow the instructions in the description box. So in this video I'm going to be discussing some of the less popular topics in relation to LSE. So I'm here to debunk a few things and to bust those myths. These are questions I've been asked in the past, and it's kind of taboo to speak about them. How expensive is it to study at LSE? Very very expensive, and obviously London is the most expensive place to study in the whole entire country. Someone asked me recently to share my rent price. So while I was living in halls, I was paying £210 a week to live in halls, and it's just it's so hard. Right now I'm not living in halls, but it's so hard to justify spending that amount of money. For 2 years in a row I lived in halls, and think about it, that's a lot of money. I've lived in Bankside, so Bankside is pretty much next door to St. Paul's. I've lived in Holborn, Euston area. I could walk to university from where I lived, and I was basically living in central London, and I had my meals provided. So I mean, it's value for money, but it's still expensive. And I think LSE provides a lot of support for students who are not taking we have an accommodation bursary, we have a LSE bursary, we have scholarships. If you're funded by Student Finance England, then they obviously increase the amount of maintenance loan that you get. So I mean, it adds up in the end, but lots of people move out and then they find a cheaper place to move out with friends in 2nd or 3rd year, or they commute if they don't live too far. Do students get jobs at LSE? From what I've seen, people don't really get jobs to survive. LSE does have a stereotype for being the place where the rich kids go, not just British middle class kind of rich. This is actually wealth, real wealth, generational structural power. So that's who is that something on my ring light? Sorry guys, that's who that's the kind of people that come to LSE, actual international wealth. People that come to LSE don't really need to work for the most part, but obviously there are people from working class backgrounds and middle class backgrounds who will have to support themselves, but people don't really work, and if they do, there are lots of jobs on campus. LSE is just so demanding that it's not very popular for you to work. It's kind of discouraged, but if you have to, then you have to. No one's gonna you're not allowed. The mindset of people at LSE is very much entrepreneurial, and I actually really love it, and this is something that you don't really get out of a university. There are people in my year who are running 6-figure businesses at the same time as studying a degree, so and and they treat their degree like a part-time. There are some people like that, and there are people that completely immerse themselves in their degree. LSE has a mix of like academic focused individuals and people who are there for business, but fundamentally people usually come to LSE and they use LSE as a springboard. So that's why there's a lot of people at LSE that have businesses or are planning to launch their businesses or have actually, you know, launched and sold off their businesses. People come here because they see LSE as part of their story. They don't see LSE as the entire life. People usually have like so many other things going on, and people come to LSE for the brand a lot of the time. And it's funny because, like I've said on this channel before, that lots of people don't know LSE. Weirdly enough, like the commoners the commoners don't know LSE. People, I feel like the people who need to know LSE. Another stereotype that people usually say is that LSE is quite like international. This is very much true, but as I said before, like this is where like millionaires, millionaire kids, billionaire kids go. And I was literally just speaking to my friend like a week ago when he was telling me that, oh, my friend, they went for dinner. He and his friend went for dinner, and then their dad was there. His dad wrote this amazing book. His dad has like this very successful company. He's the CEO and owner, and I meet so many people like this, and I'm just like, I asked my friend, I was like, there can't be this many successful people in the world. Like, how is it that like we're just casually bumping into people on campus who have done this, their dads do this? Like, how, like, there cannot be that many people in the world to the point that like this is just normal for us. Like, are we in a bubble? And he was like, yeah, Angelica, you are in a bubble. Like, he was like, the whole point is people who come to LSE are the people in the tiny circle. Like, this is where they come to. So the fact that you are able to like meet so many people who like normally you would never cross paths with, there aren't that many of them. Yeah, the world is huge, but the world is also very small at the same time. So yes, LSE is very international. I'm gonna spend the year after graduating to like try and explore. Like, yes, I'm gonna get to travel, I'm gonna get to see the world, but like LSE is a bubble of its own. Even if I decide to go to these international countries where LSE students come from, the kind of human capital you get at LSE is very much unique and concentrated. LSE is the gap year university. This is something that I've noticed, and I think it's basically pretty much true now. Coming to LSE, I knew friends already. People that I grew up with came to LSE with me after taking a gap year. Like, when I speak to more people, like that is actually quite like common. A lot of people apply to LSE, especially when they have their grades, because LSE, number one, is quite competitive, and also LSE likes mature minds. Like, not necessarily like, oh, you have to be older, but like if you have a more mature mind about the world, outside of just your A-levels, then I feel like you have a higher chance of getting into LSE. People at LSE, because it's international, a lot of people actually do military service, especially the male students from places like Malaysia. They do military service, so they start university at like 2021. So LSE is quite like a relatively mature university in that sense, but like you don't even notice. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say in this video. If you have any other questions on what you would like to see, and what kind of other taboo subjects you want me to speak on, then do leave a comment and I will tell you if I am going to answer that in another video. Do make sure you leave a thumbs up button and subscribe, and connect with me on my other social media channels. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!